All right, so I wrote this down on my wall and it ties into exactly what we were talking about before. But I said it's so easy to win is the title of my note. Going into the end of last year, I had this kind of head down, just like win at all costs. I'm going to work harder than anyone. Like I'm going to like push and grind to make this work. Every year we try and have like a theme, my brother and I, or a word that like signifies the year and gives us direction. And the word I came up with I was really happy with was tenacious or tenaciousness, like unwavering and committed to the path is the exact definition of tenacious. And I really like that because it's like if you can just stay the path, the result will take care of itself. What I've realized, it's like quite an aggressive word. And the reason why that's a problem is because any time in my life in business where I've adopted this like aggressive push, wanting the sale so bad or wanting the outcome so bad, that's when you come up with like the most resistance. And anyone who's done sales before knows this is true. When you're lacking sales and you need a sale desperately, it's so hard to get that sale. When you've got too many clients coming in and you honestly just don't care at all whether sales come in, that's when it's like sales just come really easy. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's lots of forces at play that happen with this, but in a one-on-one sales interaction, like the reason is obvious. It's like the desperate salesperson, like it comes across as desperate, and desperation is unattractive. The whole point is that I thought my theme was about winning and working hard to win. I've changed that to being like, no, the theme is that it's actually really easy to win. Adopting this belief, whether it's true or not, but I do believe that it's true, that it is actually really easy to win. Really famous Michael Jordan story that encapsulates this really well. When he goes to the Olympics with the Dream Team, if you don't know anything about basketball, like, but the Olympics, obviously the NBA, America, dominant force in basketball. And so every time they go to the Olympics, they win gold medal because they've got the best 5 players in the world or the best 7 players in the world, all on the same team. Michael Jordan, when he went to his first Olympics, they went and did practice and training together. And Michael Jordan was really curious about it because he's such a competitor. He's like, these guys are like the best 5 people in the whole world, and I get to train with them, I get to practice with them. So I get to see what quality of their training is like and like what makes them so good. I can't remember the exact quote he said, but he said something like they're kidding themselves with what it takes to truly be great. So he was at the Olympic training session with the best basketball players in the world, and he was looking at them and watching them and being like, it's going to be so easy for me to win. You know, he was only new to the NBA at this point. He wasn't like the all-time GOAT like he is now. But he saw the other 5 guys that were at the very, very top, and he saw the way that they approached training, the way they approached practice. And immediately he was just like, they don't know what's required. Their level of what they think they need to do is so far below what he thought he needed to do that he was just like, I just need to commit and I'm just going to win by default. I like that because I feel like with business, it's similar. I've written down on my wall this morning, like it's so easy to win because my competition can't focus. And I know my competition can't focus because I can't focus. It's like one of the key things of entrepreneurship is like focus is so difficult. There's so much stuff going on. There's so many moving objects, but the difference is some people are aware of it, some people aren't aware of it. The people that aren't aware of it have no hope. They just like run their business all day, every day, and they just kind of leave focus to chance. The people that are aware of it, they're aware, but they still don't take actions to solve it. And then there's people like myself, which is like, I'm aware of it, I'm doing whatever it takes to make focus the number 1 priority. And that's why this discussion this morning about how we're completely going to stop Instagram Reels, which is like a very drastic decision that none of my competitors would make, but it's because we're placing such an emphasis on focus. And again, this comes back to why I think it's going to be so easy to win, because our advantage is being able to do this. So my competition can't focus. Number 2, they can't think long term. We just talked about this. Like we're willing to spend the first year not making any money at all, like no profit. Everyone in the direct response world, in the marketing world, like that's, if it doesn't work in the first 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, they just give up. Like I want to do this for a minimum 10 years. If I think about it like realistically, I want to do it for the next 40 years. Number 3, they try and do things the cheap way. So they cheap out on stuff. And like, I know that they do this because this is me until now. Paying less for staff, cheaping out on salaries. They pay less for ads. They don't want to spend too much on ads each month. All of this stuff, like they just try and do things like a little bit cheaper, try and save money, try and manage cash flow. Of course, managing cash flow is important, but we have an advantage, like we talked about before, we're funded from the other successful business. So, we can do this. They lack consistency. Maybe they do realize how important content is, like we do. But even if they do realize how important consistency is, the actual implementation of the consistency is the hard part. And the reason why it's hard is because business is busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. And this comes back to the first point about focus. If you have too much stuff going on, it's hard to be consistent. So again, like that's how we're going to win, because if we're operating from a sense of like everything else doesn't matter, we're so ruthless with not doing things, then we have so much more time than our competitors. We've only experienced this in the last, 60 days, but how hard it is to do content consistently because it's time consuming and like there's all this other stuff that's going on and we're prioritizing it. So imagine our competitors that aren't prioritizing it, how much of an advantage we are. And then the final thing was like, it's going to be so easy to win because our competitors, they're doing it for themselves. They're not doing it for the greater good. When the focus is on making money and trying to like just do shit so I can profit and I can make money and I can be happy, that's where like consistency wavers, that's where like motivation wavers, whereas we've got like a big why in the sense that we know that the impact we have with this business content is going to change lives significantly. I talked about this in the previous video where helping a business that helps other people with their health or something can dramatically impact hundreds of lives, right? And so we can do videos on the internet and impact all of these different business owners all around the world who then in turn impact other people, and keep that as like a reminder of why we're doing this. More important than making money. That's like a mission that I want to commit to 5, 10 plus years. Like makes it easy to win as a summary. So I wrote that down. Watch us implement it.